personnel, you'll typically want a project manager, hopefully with some experience around CPQ, but not necessarily, as well as dedicated resources in the subject matter experts in sales, engineering, manufacturing, and IT. As far as looking at the attributes of a company, you'll want to make sure the organization is dedicated to the project. And we touched on it earlier in the conversation, but there really needs to be a desire to see it through and strong executive leadership and sponsorship around the project and the team.
Certainly what we've seen with companies that can successfully self-implement and again continued the journey beyond the go live. Some of the attributes we've seen, and this might sound a strange one to start off with, but typically those companies that are good at self-implementing are medium-sized companies. Part of the problem with small companies can be business as usual. They've got to get product out the door, and that has a huge impact on the availability to put people on the implementation project. By the same token, big companies at times sometimes can have too many people available, and again, the crowd doesn't necessarily get a better outcome from there. But within the customer themselves, companies that have a culture of change or organizational change, if it's in their DNA, it makes this journey so much easier because you're not fighting the resistance that change normally causes all human beings from there. Again, in those companies, you have a management team that works well and works together. They work collaboratively for a common goal for the organization. Jonathan mentioned this one. Good project management in whatever methodology they use is absolutely critical, as is a good governance process around the implementation from there. And the other one I like to say, the ability to measure success, which we touched on earlier as part of your preparation for a successful project. The individuals, to me, motivated employees are absolutely critical, that they can focus on the job at hand. I use the term smart, but that I don't mean someone who's got a PhD or anything like that. We're after people that can pick up concepts quickly, but also look at those concepts constructively, because at times people miss the bleeding obvious, and it can be the person who's the storeman that picks up something that's basically wrong, with whatever the process is from there. Again, the team, these employees, they're knowledgeable on the products that the company sells. So they're pretty clued on from there. And the other attribute I like, they're not afraid to ask questions or put their hand up for help, whether that help is from within their organization or external. Too often people regard putting their hand up and asking for assistance as a failure. No, I regard that as an attribute which is absolutely critical on an implementation project.